It may be the first game of the season, but the cheerleaders were already in mid-season form. Then again, they had all the football season to work on their routine. Evanston at Cheyenne East, both teams tied for number 3 in the 4A polls. First quarter, East wearing the white. Here's Ryan Cook putting something in the oven at 180 degrees for 32 minutes, and his team would take an early 4-2 lead. The seniors for the Thunderbirds were trying to lead by example. Great drive and finish by Dixon Maggard, and he'll just weave his way through traffic, and the score is now 6-4. But Evanston was just starting to heat up. Here's Gemini Lecky, stops, pops, banks, and hits for 2 of his 12 points to knock the score up at 6 points apiece for each team. The home team was sticking to what was working with a small twist here and there. Maggard tried the drive again, but instead he'll give the ball to Brandon Fulmer, who was open behind the D, and the score was 10-7 after the first 8 minutes were finished. Second quarter, the Red Devils were still trying to like the match, and they were getting something. Cade Lim calls for the ball, and he'll take care of the rest, and he chipped in with 16 points for the cause. His team's still down 13-11, but the Thunderbirds would fly right back. Cook drives again and gets another layup in the lane. His team got those 2 points right back, and they're up 15-11. Now this play is just good defense. The visitors were not paying attention to where Clint Jar was. He'll help himself to a free gift, and that was an easy 2 points. Home team still leads 17-11. That lit a fire for Evanston, and they responded. Lecky picks off the pass, and he's going to take care of business himself by getting 2 points off the turnover. It was a start, and the visitors are now down 17-13. Time to get another senior in here. How about Matt Johnson? He's the one who had the game-winning rejection in the state championship game last season. Now he's scoring points. 17 to lead all players. This game is tied again at 17. East was not about ready to fly south for the winner after that little spurt. Quentin Pope is going to let her fly for 3 and connect. He was the only player on his team with double-digit scoring. 14 for him, and his team's back on top, 20-17. Then they reach into their bag of tricks on this inbounds play. Tracy Callahan with the alley and Maggart with the oop on the finish. That's good teamwork. The scoreboard now reads 22-17. They had a few other surprises as well, like this one. Maggart draws the defense in and finds a wide open Fulmer. You saw this play earlier, and they pulled it off again. Home team's out 24-21. But the Red Devils kept hanging around, and here's where they started to make their move. Lim is at the top of the key, and he's opening the door for 3 at the buzzer. That was a huge momentum builder to tie the score at 24 going into the locker room. Third quarter, Evanston caught fire and started to burn the nets. Lecky lighting the fuse, boom. That was a sign of things to come. Visitors lead 28-24. Then they took a page out of their opponent's playbook. Johnson finds Nathan Chandler open behind 3 players and got 2 points behind their back. Now it's a 30-24 contest. They could do very little wrong at this point. Not sure if this was a bad shot or a pass, but as long as Johnson got his hands on the ball, who cares? The refs give him one more, and his team has a 33-24 lead. This run started with a 3 at the halftime buzzer, and it's ending with a 3 courtesy of Lecky. 15 straight points for the Red Devils, and they have taken control of this game, leading 36-24. East has gone 5 minutes plus, and they needed some points big time. Pope will stop the bleeding for a little while with this long ball, but his team needed more, trailing 36-27. The Thunderbirds were hoping for some buzzer-beating magic of their own, but the opposition had other ideas. Sean Ruskinen is rejected by Chandler, gets it back, and gets rejected by Taylor Simers just before the clock ran out. Not this time. Evanston up 40-27 going into the final 8 minutes. Fourth quarter, the visitors still had a few hot spots to deal with before this one was over. Good baseline drive and finish by Lim as he'd give his team a 13-point cushion. It's now 42-29. East had some work to do being down double digits in their first game of the season. Joe Ash drives, then decides that 3 is better for 2, and he'll leave the rest up to Pope, who will do his part. But they needed a lot more, trailing 42-32. The defending 4A state champs were able to handle the heat and dish some out. Johnson scores off the inbounds as Evanston would start their season out right, winning on the road 53-39.